We all know by now that Beyoncé is being mercilessly mocked by the media and by fans for her Cowboy Carter tour tickets reaching the same price as a McDonald's meal. And it's such a big surprise considering the fact that Beyoncé has won more awards than just about anybody. But when in doubt, invite Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey to show up in the nosebleed section and not know any of your lyrics.
That doesn't mean she don't know. You know how people be getting their lyrics wrong. You hate me, and you know you want to be. That don't mean nothing, man. People always do that. What's my other guy? The Rick Roll guy. We're never gonna give you up. Don't nobody know the lyrics. We've been so yeah. You right? Shut the f.
You know, I've heard a few interesting things about Tyler Perry. Like, why in the world would somebody want to blow up Tyler Perry's studios? And the fact that his studio president died in a plane crash of December 7th of 2024 and no one said a word. And what was it Jaguar Wright stated?
Tim Durrett and Lamar Rucker were not the same after they went on camera with Tyler Perry.
Should I post what I heard Monique state about Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey at Cat Williams' stand-up tour? I think I'm gonna.
In my humble opinion, Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry are the drug dealers of our motherfucking community. They will exploit us and give us turkeys on goddamn Thanksgiving. That's what those motherfuckers are to me. I ain't backing down, I ain't backing up. Tyler, I ain't going no motherfucking way up.
Not until they kill your fat ass, then you gonna go somewhere. That's why you can't say nothing about nobody. What's her name? Moesha.
Things that make you go, But anyways, Beyonce, good luck.
This is wild. A company called Volonaut is set to unveil their air bike. In other words, it's a flying bike, and this thing is insane.
In other words, Star Wars was a documentary, like a lot of us said. They're called speeders, right? They're making them. No doubt.
It uses jet turbine propulsion technology for vertical takeoff, hovering, and the pilot to go pretty much anywhere. Right now, it can last in the air for about 45 minutes before you need to refuel, and that depends on weather conditions, how far and how high you go, and of course, the weight of the pilot.
Bro, that low-key looked like AI. I mean, I'm sorry. You know these hoes be calling your boy trying to figure out.
It was constructed from lightweight carbon materials, making it one of the smallest, lightest powered aircraft capable of carrying a pilot. How much does it cost? It is pretty pricey, about $500,000, just about the price of a house. They say that they're doing this because they're currently targeting a niche market of wealthy early adopters, tech collectors, and emergency services.
Think how we could use this in a flood. Jump on your air bike, fly away. What about a fire? Jump on your air bike, fly right away. That would be dope if this isn't AI.
Because it could be used to search an area where a traditional vehicle would not be able to. For those of you that are going to say that this is CGI, this is actually real footage taken from their proof of concept test flight. I think this thing belongs in a Harry Potter movie, Star Wars, or E.T. But either way, I want one. Do you? As always, let me know what you think about all of this down below.
They were saying we were running out of water in 2020 because it was really warm outside. And the book, The New Water for a Thirsty World, is a great one to debunk the whole water, running out situation. And then also the primarywaterinstitute.org with the unlimited primary water that's underneath our feet. It's interesting because there's a lot of people making videos now showing water coming out of trees and out of the earth in all different places. And people are realizing we're never running out of water. Now the World Economic Forum has to pivot towards the sun is dangerous because people realize that the water's never running out. So they have to change the narrative. And then they'll come back with that one maybe in like 2 years. There's also something going on in Mexico with some like parasitic beef or something. And that's so funny because everything's parasites now, trending parasites. So now.
You know what's also funny? That some people, shout out to my people that like live in rural areas who already knew this. You can buy a whole cow, have them chop it up for like, $2,500. You got meat for the whole year, maybe a year and a half. You can buy half a cow. I don't know for how much. I used to work in a slaughterhouse, and when they would bring the cows, I'd be like, what are we doing with this? Because mostly we're like slaughtering pigs. But everything is Parasite now, because I always say, once they put it on TikTok, they're changing the game so that it won't be available no more. Like they're playing in your face to say, ha ha, look what you could have been doing for these past 15, 20 years. Now we're putting it on TikTok because we finna change the game up. You ain't gonna be able to do that no more. Or maybe that's not what's going on. I'm just, bugging.
All of a sudden, animals have the parasitic disease. It's heavy metal overload. That's all it is. It's the same playbook on repeat, and every year or every 6 months, whatever it is, every 7 months, they just do the same thing, and if people aren't aware, then they get taken advantage of and they believe it. And they're like, oh, I gotta sell my property with water because we're running out of water.
The jail. So we send you to jail? Yes, the bus, the cafeteria, the lunch plates, the hallways, basketball, the outside of it, and back to the buses. So where you going? They're sending us to jail.
See, now that you know that, they like, good, FEMA camp.
Quick, Esme, sell me this car.
What you see here. Just buy the car. Please.
Meanwhile, in China,
it's over, folks. When people are like, oh, we're losing the world's superpower, we're falling behind from China, it's already over. They've already won. Look at this shit. They have flying cars, folks. Flying cars. Autonomous taxis. They have high-speed rail. We have the overpriced and now privatized ChatGPT, while they have DeepSeek, which is open source, was way cheaper, more cost-effective, and better. They're number 5 in best healthcare in the world. Where's the US? Although we could be number 6, right behind China, if it wasn't for us paying for the Israeli regime to give all their citizens healthcare. I think a lot of Americans are in denial about the fact that this war is already over. The Chinese have already won. They are.
Much like a lot of LeBron James fans are in denial, there is no debate. As soon as LeBron lost in 07, that's it. Everything else has been an excuse to cover up the 07 sweep. In fact, I think LeBron, that's why I know he's a psyop, because the same thing that they do to us, they're using with LeBron and his followers, who I think are bots by and large. They're bots. He got some fans. They say these things that different political supporters would say to throw you off. LeBron does the same thing. He's a politician. That's why I think he's a psyop, because he's not intelligent enough to just do that on his own. Very manipulative, but just not intelligent enough. I mean, you're always seeing this dude reading a book on a first page. For 22 years, this dude has been reading a book, taking a picture on the first page. Dude, you're not even smart enough to take a picture of you reading the middle of the book? What a weirdo.
Are the new world superpower. We just haven't come to grips with it yet. I think a lot of the politicians know this, but they're lying because they know that it's going to be really hard to break the news to the American people when we've spent our whole lives being the top dog. I welcome it, actually, because...
You mean we've spent our whole life, you, ma'am, being told you're the top dog, and also being told anyone who doesn't look like you is just hating on you. They're just jealous. Like LeBron James. Isn't that what we do here in America? You're a third world country. You mad? Go get your watermelon. You want a bite of my chicken? No, I'm sorry. This is for me. Right? Don't we do that? I mean, even we do that as black people with other black people. I'm embarrassed, but we are. I am. I don't mean to be. Well, sometimes I do. But we're like that. Don't judge me.
Because I'm poor, and so are a lot of other Americans. So what the fuck do I care if China becomes the world's superpower? You know what? I'm for it. At least they respect their citizens enough to let them own a house. Unlike our country, where we basically are divided into servant class and those we serve. And what's the U.S. doing for us, for everyday regular people? Oh, nothing. But over on Israeli television, they're talking about how the U.S. is going to assist them in a war with Iran. So we have that to look forward to.
The more I got into Tesla's work, the farther I got into cold electricity. So we have hot electricity electricity right now. Everything that is around you, it heats everything up. And when Nikola Tesla discovered cold electricity, which is what you were talking about, the globes, they're all lit up on the ground and all the lights are turned on, and he could send the electricity to anybody and not use this inefficient power lines and all this other garbage that we have, he was defunded. JP Morgan then burned down his lab and things would vanish. So like you...
But how do we know JP Morgan did that? We don't know they did. Anything could have happened. This is what I mean, man. You hating on LeBron James. You don't know he's not the GOAT. You don't know. So don't just be saying JP Morgan did that, bro, because you don't know.
Said there was a lot of technology that used to exist, and I don't put it past me. At this point, I have seen so many things that I honestly have been mind blown. I mean,
that looks like it could be AI. I can always tell AI when the words is like, it's like a weird word from another language. It looks like, what does that say in the back? Lastonics? What the hell is a Lastonics, bro? This is probably an AI picture.
I've seen engines that don't even make sense in the 1800s that are, 1,000 feet tall, and sitting there going, where is this? Nobody uses this. And all of these world fairs, like we were just talking about, they were showing people technology, and that could be there, right? Showing that they can clone or have orphans, whatever it may be. And then the people would never get this technology. But, Hershey's and Coca-Cola and Tiffany and Co. definitely got customers for life. That's when the beginning of those three companies came in 1893, because all the Masons and Oddfellows and all those other different societies held those world fairs, put things on display, and then to destroy them.
Muslims don't believe in manifestation. We don't just send stuff out to the universe. We talk to the creator of universe.
You guys, I had no clue that this man, Charlie Chaplin, was demented. This man liked girls, and he liked them young. Silent movie superstar, blah, blah, blah. He was really wealthy, yada, yada. Charlie's 29. He meets Mildred Harris. She's 16. Uh-oh, she thinks she's preggo. So he marries her. Turns out she wasn't. There's another bun in her oven again. She gives birth. The baby passes away after 3 days. They get divorced. Meanwhile, Charlie Chaplin's making buku bucks. You know what I'm saying? He's like the first person to have merch. He meets actress Lita Gray initially when she's 12 years old. At 15, he seduces her. At 16, she's with child. Charlie's 35. Her mom says to Charlie, you better marry this girl or I'm going to the police. So they get married. They have 2 boys. Lita files for divorce because he's a serial cheater and creep. The divorce is scandalous because she is spilling all of the tea. Okay, it is 1920 something and this man is salacious. She's like, he's a pervert. He seduced me. He likes threesomes. She receives $825,000 in the divorce. It's the 1920s. So in today's money, it's like $12.5 million, which was the biggest divorce settlement at that time. Fast forward, Charlie's now 47 and he meets actress Paulette Goddard. Am I saying that right? Paulette is 25, but guess what? She was lying and saying she was 17. So they get married and then they divorce. She signs a confidentiality agreement and receives some money. Now Charlie's 53 and he meets 18-year-old Una O'Neill. Una and Charlie remain married until his death in 1977. And she really stands by her man, okay? The government thinks Charlie is a commie sympathizer and they don't like that he likes girls. So he's banished from the US and he goes to Switzerland. But Una is with him. They have a bajillion kids, 8 to be exact. Look at Grandpa with all of his kids. In 1972, 5 years before he passed away, he was allowed back into the U.S. to receive an honor. Oh, and you know what? He was short. He was 5'4", 5'5" on a good day. But we can't even call him a short king because he was a perv. That was Charlie Chaplin in a nutshell. Ugh.
Oh, I'm gonna be a big-ass movie star off that shit. Look, nigga, I told you to stop showing the fucking tape. Man, why you keep on bitching about my tape, man? God damn, ain't shit gonna happen. Alright?
Predators in the hood.
But here's what cracks me up. I saw a video also of black people graduating. Right. All black college, all black high school, whatever the fuck it was. And there was no white people. It was right. And every time a kid came out, they did some stupid ass dance, right? Like whatever. Yeah. And then next one came out, and the next one, and then the black security guard said, yo, you can't dance out. You need to walk out. And they were like, yo, fuck you, this and that. The parents came down into the gymnasium part and were like, yo, don't put your hands on my, so it's like this. It's that parent. It's the parents. Yes, a lot of these black kids don't have fathers at home. That's fine. I understand that. But a lot of them do. The majority don't, but a lot of them do. If that's what you're, teaching your kids, Shame on you, okay? You can't blame the white man. Dude, I didn't do shit to anybody. I came here in 71. I didn't do shit to
Even then,
anybody.
it's like, just because you're fucking doing a dance and a security guard tells you not to doesn't mean like it's a symbol of white oppression or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Just act fucking orderly, like everybody else is supposed to do, you know?
This is the only time when you LeBron fans act orderly, when you in front of the police. But all right, couple of things going on here. This is literally how you LeBron fans are acting now that LeBron got knocked out of the playoffs. Year 22. You better hope that Steph Curry does not win his 5th ring before LeBron James does. But this dude is really getting locked up. Now he not no gorilla no more, but he never was a killer. He's a punk. He want to bully people like us, law-abiding citizens. But you don't want to do that to, if you a killer, be tough with a cop.
Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do it with me. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Alright? We're good, man. I appreciate it.
Everyone, guess who we caught lacking? Guess who we caught lacking? Audible? Forget about that. You know I got better for you. Here's the video.
A child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, that warms my heart, particularly as a black man.
I hated my healthy relationship. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Everything seemed extremely...
Stop. Hammer time. Why he playing all this stuff about women? Man, this is about creepy. It's creepy that women don't want the man in the house so that they can raise the kid. There's no accountability. It's not my fault. Let's blame the white man because that's a distraction because everything is a lie. So racism has to be a lie too. So let's use these disorderly young black men from these single parent households to go to prison and beat up women because they really are angry at their mom. So let me beat you up because I see my mom in you because y'all both have ovaries. And that was by design. These people conspire to do that? Who, how, and why? That's creepy. The psyche of the woman who says, I don't need no man. Then we can see the psyche of the kid she raised. Why does your child want to be a stripper at 7?
Foreign to me. I even remember at the beginning of my relationship, I'm like, hey, there's a part of me inside that does not like you. And I said it with like a comical relief, but I was really serious. Like there was a part of me that did not like this person, did not like how he held me accountable. I did not like how he held a mirror to my face. I did not like how he created situations where I had to be at my full potential and I just was not ready to be my
LeBron James. Very much like a woman. Interesting.
Full potential at that moment.
Welcome, family. Today, we have something special. Remember all that commotion when I was trying to explain to people that the airplanes leaving the trails are holographic? People had a hard time wrapping their heads around it. Some even laughed. Well, today, I bring you more evidence and proof of my claims. In this footage, the airplane has not manifested correctly. The mechanism that creates the airplane has become visible, and vectors and gears can be seen as they render the simulation in real time. As you can see, this type of holographic technology is not usual and does not display any of the attributes of holographics as we know it. I have said previously that this technology is supremely advanced and is not human technology. This is fourth density technology and has the ability to create any form in a 4-dimensional manner. It's not humans doing the spraying.
Now, the weird part about these outages is that people still had cell phone service. So it makes you wonder what's still turned on, just like the cameras. Last year in Arizona, we had power outages. But what was interesting is when these group of people kind of went to this bank, you can imagine what they tried to do. We won't say that. But you can imagine what they tried to do. They just kind of roamed around the bank and they drove around the bank and they kind of checked everything while the power was out and everything. All of a sudden, about 10 squad cars pulled up. So it meant that the cameras were still working while the power was out. So it really makes you wonder what's actually happening. And this is why you should kind of question everything. When the power's really out and your cell phone towers or cell phone things are still working, there's still power. It's almost like a test. That's kind of what it is. That's what I would kind of think of it as. And it's almost kind of seeing what people will do. And now that you've got their phone, you can get their data as they text people in the panic saying, oh my gosh, I've got no money, I've got no this, I've got no that. So,
the Twilight Zone had an episode like this. What was it, the Monsters on Maple Street or something like that? Or was that an advertisement for what they were going to do 60, 70 years from the airing of that? Probably not.
Data harvesting is what these events are. That's why I say people need to take a vacation, go out into nature, and spend time with nature. Because when you come back, you can kind of just see through the nonsense. But if you're hooked in, like the Matrix, and you're hooked into this social media and everything that's just trying to prey on your energy and harvest your energy and loose your energy all the time, well then you can't see otherwise.
It has been a hot minute, but I want to...
That better be a filter. You better not have on the guy from Breakfast at Tiffany's glasses. I'm not even messing around. Play the song for this lady, please. Dumb chick.
This trend is to...
Lonely and dumb chick. You could have been married in your 20s, but you had to be a lonely and dumb chick.
Pretzel. Yeah. Okay,
What is that? Is that a witchcraft stone? Pentagram? Break lights? What is that? What is that? God bless you.
We're about to break down the Rothschild Ball like you've never seen before. I got tons of requests after I post these pictures, so let's get into it. We're gonna go very quick and very deep, so try to keep up. And don't say it. So right at the bat, we see some very obvious things, but the very meaningful symbology is only uncovered by knowledge. So first off, we see this Baal mask. But did you know this whole picture has to do with Baal? Because Baal is literally Moloch and it's literally Baphomet. They're all the same deity. So what was Baal to the Canaanites, to the Templars was Baphomet. But the Templars didn't worship this form of Baphomet that we know. While we do see many images of their worship like this, it actually didn't look like this at all. The form of Baphomet that the Templars worshipped was the form with 4 faces, one on each side of its head. You can also see it's portrayed by this cartooner game with the name of Baphomet, as can be seen again right here. The one you see in the red robe right in front of Baphomet, that's the High Priestess. The High Priestess would be on the side of the east to be worshipped like the sun as the sun was rising. Same thing in all lodges, by the way. So that's why you see him wearing masks all around his face. Then in the background you see someone looks like they're screaming out in hell. Now this one right here has a lot. So again, we see the multiple masks, multiple personalities, also demonic possession and Baphomet. We'll get to the demonic possession in a minute. We also see this egg right here. This is the Orphic egg, or also the cosmic egg, which you can usually see a snake wrapped around it. It quite literally symbolizes the birth of the beast or the beast system or Satan himself and a new beginning. Everything's great. Also, you know, Ishtar and the fertility celebrations, the black and white, you know, duality, checkered floors. And this little beetle right here, would you believe me if I told you it was Satan? Because it really is. In ancient Egypt, they thought the scarab brought the sun, the light bringer. This one's too easy. The lizard, the serpent, the forbidden fruit, and the one-eye symbolism. Come back to the lizard in a minute. What do you see right here besides one-eye symbolism and duality, black and white? It's quite literally Saturn worship, Satan worship, Father Time worship, which is also the black cube, Metatron's cube, etc. The black cube. Now we got this dude with the...
I gotta stop him there. This whole, you're trying to connect what the Muslims do with the Satan stuff. This is where Christians, you gotta stop doing that, man. I mean, all of that can be debunked. I see why some people don't like this guy. I mean, everything else he was saying was sounding, you know, all right. But, you know, the Muslims are not your enemy. You know, they're just not. And they don't have problems with Christians. They don't have problems with Jesus. They like Jesus. You guys all have the same prophets. Christianity and Islam, they have the same father, Abraham. Sarah and Hagar, they were both married to Abraham. One wife, the lineage of Christianity came from her, and the other wife, the lineage of Islam came from her. So y'all are literally like, you got the same dad, but different moms. Whether you like it or not, Christians, because Muslims seem to understand that. And even the Jews, they seem to understand that too. So Christians, you got to get over yourself.
His hands coming out of his head, I wonder why. Out of his mind is demonic possession. So at the 32nd level, they literally get possessed by ascended masters or enlightened beings to make them more powerful. Don't believe me? Go look it up. And this right here gets a little bit freaky. It was an art piece made for this specific ball, but you want to know what this dude who made this? A guy that used human dolls and merged them with taxidermied creatures. A good reference for that is the parties they do on islands in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere. Now this guy's glove, it doesn't look like just leather, it looks more like lizard skin, as does his helmet thing. Then we got the bird cage, which symbolizes oppression, again, demonic possession, and also duality, the seeing of freedom on the outside and bondage on the inside. A lot of these people are trapped, but a lot of them like being trapped. And we're out of time. Let me know if you want part 2.
This 90s TV show called Captain Planet straight up indoctrinated kids into believing the world was overpopulated.
It's increasing by 90 million people each year.
But the Earth is not getting any bigger.
So when it is your turn to have a family,
keep it small.
You're joking. The woman who created Captain Planet is the co-founder of the largest freestanding abortion facility in the world. The depopulationist agenda proves over and over again they do not care about you or me or humans in general. During the pandemic, European nations promised to send medical aid over to Africa, but instead of sending, I don't know, ventilators and PPE, you know what they sent? $2 million worth of abortion kits. Canada used millions of dollars of their COVID-19 funding to promote abortion in Africa. And let us not forget that during COVID, abortion facilities got to stay open and received government handouts because they were essential. There is a record low fertility rate in America that's becoming a looming threat. Other nations like Denmark, Italy, and Germany are frantically pushing pro-family incentives because they've realized their replacement rate is too low and their nations are literally facing extinction. Luckily, I do think that there are probably a lot of people alongside me who feel when we are told that you can't have a lot of babies, it actually just kind of makes us want to have babies even harder. So you played yourself.
The GSS does this study where they looked at the average number of sexual partners for women that cheated in a relationship and the average number of sexual partners for women that did not cheat. So before marriage, women who cheat in relationships have had 230% more sexual partners than women who didn't. That is statistically significant and incredibly offensive. If you explain that concept to women, that is horribly offensive. What do you mean? There's actual data that shows that you can't turn into a housewife? Actual data that shows that?
Hold on. So we're too much looking at this thing from the standpoint of Shannon Sharpe because that woman wanted Shannon Sharpe. She had a 2-year relationship with him. She wanted him. So she wanted to be in that relationship. She wanted to get money from him. I mean, it's okay to shame Shannon Sharpe, I guess, but it takes 2 to tango. No one's saying, how dare you want to be with a 56-year-old? That isn't yucky that you as a 19-year-old didn't draw the line and say, I can't be with a 56-year-old man no matter how much money you have. Wait, how much money do you have? Well, I mean, I didn't know you had that much money. How much more are you going to get? 100 million? Well, I do a little something strange for a little bit of change.
That's horribly offensive. You shouldn't be posting that stuff, Michael. Who hurt you? You're promoting insult culture and hatred towards women. No, I'm not. What I'm doing is telling women that I'm close to maybe having a massive body count before you get married is a bad idea.
This that shit I be talking about, y'all. Y'all see this shit? They built a robot the size of a grain of salt. And I'm not even exaggerating. Look at this shit, y'all. That's the US penny. And that's the fucking robot, y'all. Do you see how tiny that shit is? Look like a fucking tick. It's the world's smallest remote control robot at 0.02 inches, y'all. And the crazy part is, it don't use batteries to move. They move the junk with a laser, y'all. Imagine something this small being a robot that don't need batteries and it can move it with a laser. Now they say they're using this for medicine. They're using it in the hospital, in the medical field. Now the question is, do you really think they only use this for medicine, for the hospital? They can make this joint walk, crawl, go flat. Like, come on now. If it can do all the movements, what else can it do? What, spy on you? Track you? Inject you? I'm just saying. I thought shit like this was only on movies, but now we're seeing it. It's in real life.
Well, I do think you're a little bit paranoid. I mean, they're not looking for you. You don't got nothing to worry about.
So you gotta start thinking. Things that we see on movies, a lot of the times, it's either here or it's real. And they just don't show us until they want us to know. So they say this been around since 2022. But we're just hearing about it in 2025. So over the course of them 3 years, what were they using this for? Drop a they already watching us in the comments if you feel what I'm saying. Because if these things been around, they probably been on us, in our house, in our clothes, in your ear, in your body. You never know.
Michael B. Jordan apparently practices satanic witchcraft. Now, there's a clip that's going around where Michael B. Jordan says that he's a babalao. Now, I'm about to tell you exactly what that means, but first, hear it for yourself.
Michael B. Jordan, the B stands for Bakari, which means of noble promise.
Correct. You know your stuff. Okay.
All right. Who gave you that name, and how do you think it shaped the man you are today?
I'm a babalao, and my mom, when
He said Baba Louie. You come on, man. Which is you adding stuff in there, dude.
I was born, I got the name, fresh out the womb. I'm a babalao, and I'm a babalao.
So, a babalao is a priest or diviner in the Yoruba religion, especially in the Ifa spiritual system. Now, the word babalao in Yoruba means father of mysteries or father of secrets, and babalaos are experts in divination. And they are responsible for communicating with the dead through a system called Ifa. Now, they use divination chains or ikin or sacred palm nuts that provide spiritual guidance, and they help people solve problems. They perform rituals, they maintain a connection between humans and the dead, and I'm telling you, all
there is no connection between humans and the dead. Like, after you're gone, the simulation is over for you. Now you just gotta wait until the simulation is over for mankind. Those are demons pretending to be our loved ones, or what we commonly call ghosts. That's a demon, man. He just playing around with you, man. These people are in touch with demons who aren't dead. They're very much alive. They aren't dead. They be moving stuff in your house. They move stuff in my house. They just be doing all types of stuff. The thing is, like LeBron James fans or like toxic women, you gotta not give them attention. Now, for us guys, that's difficult, especially when she got them tiggle bigs bouncing around. It's hard to not give them attention. You gotta try, brothers. I'm with you.
all of this is so demonic. And he's saying that he even channels spirits. He connects with dead spirits. And Michael B. Jordan even said that he channeled Chadwick Boseman in the movie Sinners.
No, you didn't. You channeled a demon, and the demon came inside you, and it told you it was Why would a demon tell you the truth? Man, these folks do not want to see what's on the other side of the simulation for them because they already know.
And this is how him and so many other actors are able to display certain characters. They tap into the spirit realm and they align their spirit with demonic forces. Do not seek after these things, but seek Jesus. Don't seek New Age. Don't seek African spiritualism. Only Jesus. Follow now if you like Christian content.
I didn't know this was Christian content, by the way. I mean, I do like Jesus. Yeah, that was a demon in her house. That wasn't a spirit, a ghost. Somebody came back to haunt you. That's a demon, but you're inviting the demon. Dressing like this, you probably got a spirit of lust already on you or around you. Who knows? Is that your hair? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that your real hair or is that a demon? Damn, a demon possessed your wig? Boy, that might be a good movie.
Man, don't palm me. Me tired to be single. Right now, enough is enough. Enough is enough now. Me see everybody love I want affection. I'm tired of cutting myself. It hurts me. It hurts my heart. I want man. No man now look me. Look me.
I'm looking.
I really don't care.
That's how I feel. Say it again, Snot, cause damn.
Heart. I want man. No man now look me.
I really don't care.
How can I care? Golly.
Run a lap or tell me your kiss count.
It's a lot of juice there.
Run a lap or tell me your favorite ex.
Okay. Cold juiciness. All right.
Run a lap or tell me your least favorite friend.
Run a lap or tell me a secret. Nothing?
Hell nah, I can't tell you no secret. Cause your mouth too big.
Run a lap or tell me your crush.
I can't tell you my crush cause you gonna go try to talk to him.
Run a lap or tell me the last person that you kissed.
Absolutely not, cause it was your boyfriend.
What is the biggest cause of children and child abuse? Stepfathers. What does that tell you about who's the danger to children? It's single mothers. It's single mothers that are the danger to children more than anything else, because stepfathers are a reflection of what the mother is choosing to put around the children. There's so many women out there that will say, I never let father in because he was an alcoholic. He was this, he was that, he was that. But you chose him. So your selection is still the problem. Now we've got these children without biological fathers being exposed to more men of that woman's standard, more men of that woman's taste. Her taste is broken.
How are we calling anything a conspiracy in 2025? The CIA admitted to dosing people with LSD, and MK Ultra is real.
And we know they admitted that. I'm not saying that they admitted that. I'm saying they said, yeah, we did that. And what, bitch? Fuck is you gonna do?
UFO is being declassified by the Pentagon. It only took, 60 years and 80,000 pages to prove JFK was taken out by our own government? Hunter Biden's laptop was real, even though 51 intelligence officials told us it wasn't. The CIA admitted to putting certain substances into black neighborhoods in the 80s. They tried to get MLK to unalive himself. They faked events to get us into wars. Fully exposed. Never happened. Weapons of mass destruction. Gulf of Tonkin. Epstein apparently unalived himself, but the cameras just happened to stop working at that time. Ghislaine Maxwell convicted of trafficking nobody to nobody. Diddy is now allegedly running trafficking rings. Bill Gates funding mosquito-released vaccines. The Lahaina fires somehow skipped all of the rich land. So to the people who are calling others conspiracy theorists, you are not protecting the truth. I think you're just uncomfortable with how much of the truth is really coming to light.
Yes, much like LeBron James. Think of a psyop, right? Think of all this conspiracy stuff he said, but on a smaller level. Something that the Negroids can understand. LeBron James is the GOAT. Years from now, they're going to say, nah, he was the nope, really. Kobe's the close, Jordan's the GOAT, LeBron was the nope. We always knew that. We just wanted to see how far we could go with it. And we went 22 years with it. Awesome. Once we got tired of him, we brought Luka to the Lakers in order to force him out because he think he's smart like these Negroes. They always think they're smarter than us. Yo, shout out to my international people who have said to me, yo, man, where's bring up race? Because America is racist. That's why let me not say that. But this country is racist. It's like baseball and apple pie. This is just what America is. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. That's what we are as Americans. We don't want to be. Some of us, we love it. But the rest of us, we just you kind of have to be to survive. Let me see the best way to explain it. It's kind of like, think of a man and a woman. A woman always has to be aware of all of the men that are around because she doesn't know which one is going to assault her. She doesn't know which dude is going to jump in and help, whether it be stop or jump in and help assault her. And that's just something that women just have to deal with in America, maybe even all over the world. Being a person of color in America is that same way. I don't know which one of you dudes is going to try to hang me or which one of you will stand and watch me get hung. So it's nothing personal, international people. So I don't really be mad at women when they're like, I don't trust men. I'd be like, me neither. I feel you, babe. 100%.
Did Jim Carrey, to prepare for The Grinch by subjecting himself to real CIA torture tactics.
Jim Carrey's costume in The Grinch was so unbearable, he underwent CIA torture training just to get through it.
Are they just straight up saying this is about MK Ultra, Project Monarch, all the things?
Seems like a ritual to me, for sure.
Nobody should be surprised that guy underwent some kind of CIA torture program. And that's why, again, he seems really disturbed. Really talented at what he did, but I mean, sometimes you got to wonder if there was more to it, that he was so good at emulating people and changing his voice and just being, like, really getting into character. I wonder if that's how he got into character.
Or he was embodying demonic spirits.
Is that so he could embody this Grinch spirit?
They come up to me in the street and, you know, their parent says, you know who that is? That's the Grinch. And I go, I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming. You know, and their parents go, oh, I thought it was makeup.
It's all demonic. It's demons, guys. It's demons.
Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No Diddy when I say member. Thank you. To my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, join. Thank you.